Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what we picked for history for the 2024-2025 homeschool year. Now, this video is a part of a big collaboration hosted by Davine over at Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. They're hosting this big collaboration where over the span of a few weeks, a bunch of moms are getting together and sharing their curriculum for the next school year. So if you've missed that, last week we shared our language arts and the week before that we shared math. So you may want to go find those playlists so you can check out what everybody's using and get yourself some ideas. But this week we're talking about family subjects, and that can mean a lot of things. It can mean Bible, it can mean science, it can mean geography, it can mean history. So when you watch this playlist, you're bound to see a lot of different things, but today I'm going to share history. Now, if this is something that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be sharing for the next couple of weeks other picks for next year, and you don't want to miss it. So a little backstory, my son is finishing up his 9th grade year and he'll be going into 10th grade next year. So the picks you're going to see are for his 10th grade year. So let's talk about history. First things first is this past year, we have used the U.S. history units from Gather Round, and we were able to get through, or we're going to be able to get through U.S. History 5. And instead of trying to hurry through U.S. History 6, we decided we are just going to push it into next year. And I'll tell you how that's going to fit into our schedule in just a minute. So U.S. History 6 from Gather Round will be a part of our 10th grade year. It won't take up the whole year, obviously, because it's 20 lessons, but it will be a part of next year. But our main history for next year, we decided to go with, let me pick it up here, World History from Masterbooks. The reason why we picked this is we actually used one of their science curriculums this past year to go with our chemistry unit, and then we've also used their health, and my son really enjoys the layout of Masterbooks. He likes the quick but effective lessons. The work is very straightforward. It's not a bunch of pages, and he really enjoys that. And so when we were looking for a world history, that was one of the things he wanted me to look for, was to see what they had. So I went to Masterbooks website and I printed off a couple of samples for him. They do have sample pages for you to look at, and I let him look through them and compare them to other things that we were looking at, and this is what we decided to go with. I even watched a podcast episode from Masterbooks. I think his name is Randy, and it was him and his daughter, and she was talking about how she loved this revised edition. And so I listened and watched the whole podcast, and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what we're going to get. It will be perfect. It's what we're looking for. So I did buy the printed version of the student notebook, and then I don't know why I did this, because their stuff does come perforated, so you can tear their things out. So I could have very well just bought the printed version of the teacher guide and all that. But for some reason, or the teacher guide actually looks like this is the cover of it. For some reason, I bought it in digital, and so I'm going with it. I don't remember what my reasoning was for it, but I do know that I tore out the, you get all this when you have Masterbooks here. You have this suggested schedule, which I love. So this will go into my planner because that helps me keep up with it. I love the simplicity of Masterbooks. I love how it's like day whatever, read this, do this. I do like that. Now they have it as like 5 days a week, but we'll be using it 3 days a week until we finish U.S. History 6. So when we start to school next year, we'll do 3 days a week of this world history, and on the 4th day, we'll do a lesson from U.S. History 6. So as soon as we finish U.S. History 6, we'll be doing this 4 days a week. So I'm excited about this. I think he's really going to like it. I think he'll enjoy the simple lessons and things like that. And so another thing that goes with this is So Noted, and I got that in digital too, so I don't have that right now. If you're interested in to see what this, looks like more in depth, let me know, and I can print out a little bit of So Noted so you can see what that is, but I got that in digital also. So that is like a part of the schedule, like day 5 is read So Noted. So that's what I did here. So that's from the teacher's guide. And then I made him his own little workbook. I just copied the cover of the student book, and I put the first 9 weeks in here. That way it's not this huge, I mean, those books are pretty big, and that overwhelms my son. He has ADHD, and if he sees all that, he gets very overwhelmed. So I just made him his own little notebook. It's the first 9 weeks, and so you just have, you know, this is the first lesson. This is day 2, and you've got multiple choice, fill in the blank, short answer, and then it goes to the next day. And then I printed the quarterly exam. And so when he's finished with this, then we know we're ready to move on to the second quarter. So I think he's really going to like it. I'll show you a little bit of what the inside of the book looks like. So like lesson 1, it's got gray colored pictures. Lesson 1's on Moses, the 10 Commandments. Lesson 2 is Hammurabi. And we've kind of already touched on some of this when we did ancient civilizations. So the first part of this is kind of going to be a review for him. You got the world of worldviews, you got Nebuchadnezzar, and I remember going over all this in ancient civilizations, but I am going to still do it again just because it's been a while since we did that with Gather Round. So yeah, like the lessons are not super long. If you have a child who can't sit through very lengthy lessons, but you want them to be introduced to world history topics, I think this is perfect. Like this is lesson 2 here, the Jewish exile. Then you're already at lesson 3, history maker Daniel. Lesson 4, Jerusalem. And what I've learned about history is I love to just put it out there for him, let him know a little bit about it, and he really runs with the things that interest him. Like World War II is his thing. That's what he likes to know a lot about. So if we ever come across something and he doesn't feel like he's getting enough information about it, he is old enough and he knows how to go find more information. So I think this is going to be perfect for him. Now, along with that, just because I have them on hand and they look fabulous, we are going to be using Vikings from Gather Round and Middle Ages from Gather Round. We also will probably do the Renaissance and Reformation, but I do not believe we'll get to it next year. Now, the way that I'm going to use these, I'm not using them as they are intended as a full core unit study. We're not doing that because we've got world history from Masterbooks. So I'm not going to make him turn around and do all the work that comes with this. My plan with this is to just read it almost like a read aloud. When I looked in here in the Masterbooks, there's not a ton of information about Vikings, and that's something he's interested in. So I think this will be good. I do have a flip through, I believe, of this unit if you want to see more about what's in the Vikings unit. But my plan is to just kind of use this as a read aloud to discuss and to add more to the Masterbooks. I don't even think we'll do the notebooking page. I don't think we'll do any of the pages that are inside the student notebook. My plan is just to read this because this covers things like the Vikings in Ireland, Alfred the Great, Vladimir the Great, Eric the Red. It's a lot of different people that are not mentioned in this world history book here. So I want us to read this. So if I do one lesson a week, that will take us 10 weeks. And we only school for 36. So, and then I have the Middle Ages. These are both fabulous, and they would make fabulous units for your family to do, but that's just not how we're going to use them next year. And so this one, I plan on doing once a week once we finish Vikings. And so this one just has like Constantinople, Battle of Tours, Charlemagne, all these great things in here that will just give him more information to back up what we're learning in Masterbooks. And then I eventually, probably his 11th grade year, will get to Renaissance and Reformation that Gather Round has put out. So that's extra. Then the other things I really love, now we've been using this Stories of America, I'm not sure what it's called, from Simply Charlotte Mason. We have been using that alongside our history this year, doing U.S. history. And then I have Stories of the Nations that are wonderful. These are from Simply Charlotte Mason too. And I love these just as something extra to read. I love the way they're written. They really get you into the story. They give you a little more information. I like these and I highly recommend these to go with world history. These are probably not made for high schoolers, but I don't care because I learned stuff from here and I'm an adult, so it's okay. So we're going to be using these. And then I also bought A Castle with Many Rooms. This is the story of the Middle Ages. So we'll just probably read from this and Stories of the Nations just throughout the year, not in any particular, like, I'm not going to have a schedule for it. Just if I see it go with the topic and I can pull from those books, I'm definitely going to do that because I do love these resources. So that is what we're using for history. If you have any questions about anything I shared, let me know down in the comments. I would be glad to do a flip through of the Masterbooks World History. If you're interested, just let me know. And let me know in the comments what you're using for history, because it may give somebody an idea that they haven't thought of. And as always, thank you so much for watching.